Sorry to hear that. I mean,
Well,
Me too.
okay. Well, let's start. Ken,
Sure.
you'll bring people in
yeah.
as a, okay.
Yep, sounds
All
good.
right, everybody, welcome. For those who do not know me, I'm Marty Latman, and my companion over here, Ken Lang. We work with a few other people to put together this system that I think you're aware of, My Networking Central. In setting it up, what we wanted to do is put the make it easy for people, job seekers, networking groups, and speakers to help each other. And that was the main purpose for the system that we put up. It's up and running, and I'm just going to run through it and show you certain things that we can do. Any comments that you have, we would appreciate it. At the same time, I think what you'll see is as we go through it, if information is missing, what the impact will be. We've had already 2 meetings today. One, we met initially with the networking group facilitators who we have. Then we had one with the speakers, and now we have with you, the user. The system is up and running and it is live. We continue to add enhancements to it, and we are continuing to expand our footprint. What we initially wanted to do was work with people in the New York, New Jersey metro area, and that is where we started. It's now expanding to other areas, and we'll go through it as you'll see. This system is the only one of its kind that we are aware of, where it brings all 3 parties together in, I'll call it a clearinghouse, to help you as a job seeker find the information that you need to land the position that you want. So what I will do now, if I could do a screen share, and where did I put it over here? Is this it? No, that's not it.
Well,
No? Okay, let me come back over here and bring it up. I have to go out over here to,
there you go. You're getting there. Yep.
okay. You might have all seen some of this. Some of you are, I believe, already part of it. Some of you may not, but this is what the system looks like and what it is. Whoops, that's interesting.
What's up?
And going
I'm on the
across,
call.
we're catering to 3 different areas:
Are there?
job seekers, networking groups and events, and networking speakers and presenters. To first get onto the system, and it's free, you have to hit the join now button to register. Okay. And in doing that, you're going to come up and it's going to ask for your email address. You're going to have to set a password, username. It will have for you your first name, your last name, and what you want to be. Are you a job seeker? Are you a group facilitator, a group presenter, or a general user? And you could be, it's not just one, you could be, if you're also a presenter, you could put, job seeker and then also group presenter, or if you're head of a facility of a networking group, you could put a group facilitator. You could also do a job seeker. Okay, and then we have some further information for you. Once you sign on to the system, the next time you come into the system, you could sign on right over there, which will be the member login. We also have here an about section. When you look at it, what the about section will talk about will be myself, Ken, and the other three people who have helped us on the system. That's Pressy Abraham, Nancy Aronson, and Mark Strano. We've all worked together on putting this together for you. There's a button on media where we will have different articles that could be of interest to you, different videos. There's Ken's smiling face as we go through it, different presenters. Okay. We will have also the calendar. Now the calendar, looking at it.
You have to register. You have to log on. You have to,
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
log
right.
in.
yeah.
Okay, that will help.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you come to the calendar, what we have shown is this. This is information that we have accumulated so far. And this is for the month of November. And I'll show you on, you could do it for the month. You could do it for the week. We're also looking to do it by different types. Okay. But if we do it by month, and then, well, let's try it by week. Okay. Okay. So here you will see today at 10 to 12, this morning, the PSG group of Central New Jersey met. Tomorrow, the Northern New Jersey Professional in Transition group will meet from 10 to 12. And weekly LinkedIn Live, the Lunch and Learn with Ken will be at 1 o'clock. And there's some other ones over here that we have. Okay. So right now, this is our Google Calendar, which is one piece of what we have. And coming back here, we'll have a help. There's help if you need help. And there's information on how to contact us. Okay. Let's get into the main crux of it though. There's also job seeker. Now what this is doing is that as a job seeker, once you register, you could go to any of these three screens, three areas. And what you might want to do is as follows. I want to go to a meeting that's a virtual meeting. Okay. Well, if you just hit virtual and nothing else, you're going to get a list of all the virtual meetings that you have. And on this, if you click on it further, for instance here, careers in transition, right now they have virtual, and it will tell you they meet, this is information about, they meet on the first and third Saturdays of each month at 8:30. Okay. When they meet live, they meet at the Winston School by the Christ Church in Short Hills. Okay. There's no fee, no membership fee, no meeting fee, and no membership requirements. They have topics where they talk about resume review. They have also various other job search topics. This is their website. Their facilitator contact is Glenn Resnikoff here, and here's Glenn's email, and they're based in New Jersey. If you want to come back a little, and let's come back over here for another search. And let's say here, we want to do virtual, but we want to see that in virtual, these are the groups that meet on a monthly basis, let's say, for instance. And in here, by doing that, you're going to find these groups here meet monthly. That's all the information you just put in. They meet monthly. You can at the same time say, okay, I want to say which ones meet on Thursday. And now you see there's only one virtual one that meets on Thursday. Okay. let's look and say, all right, I want to find an in-person meeting. I'm not going to talk about frequency. I just want to know if they meet, let's say, on a Wednesday. Right now, you're going to see that there are no in-person groups that meet on Wednesday that we have. If you have, let's do this, a virtual on Wednesday. These are all the meetings that are on Wednesday. Okay. You could also say, all right, I only want the membership. There's no membership fee. There's no fees over here. And let's say I want to talk about the groups that meet on Wednesday that will speak about elevator pitches. And as you go down here, you see these are the groups that speak on, discuss elevator pitch topics that meet on Wednesday. Now, let's say, for instance, you want to have, forget this, I'm just going to get out of here. You want to find out, let's say, for instance, you want to see Paul Sakala. I've heard this name, Paul Sakala. I want to find out some information about Paul. He's a speaker. And when you do that, you're not going to see anything over here because he doesn't talk about elevator pitches. At least his information right now does not say that. Paul, we had a meeting with him and he has to update his information. Let's say, for instance, though, you want to talk about, well, let me see here. Alex Freund. And you want to talk about, well, does Alex talk about interviewing? And according to this, because Alex hasn't filled out all his information, it's not going to come up.
No, Marty, that's because he's not a group facilitator.
I have it under group presenter. I have it for
Okay,
speaker.
all right, so his
Okay.
information is not filled out right, okay.
Okay, so here you go. Again, these are all the different groups. Okay. And then
Hey,
let's,
Marty, can I
yeah.
ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Just a step or two back, when you were looking at a particular topic and just showing all the meetings that discuss that topic,
Mm-hmm.
and it came up with that list, that's not necessarily that they're talking about that topic at their next meeting. It's just that they talk about that topic at some of their meetings.
You are correct.
Okay.
And what we are doing, okay, to alter that, okay, Ken, let me turn this back over to you for a
Oh,
second.
okay, I was answering.
Okay, you got it?
Okay. What do you want me to show?
I have to go stop sharing. This is one of the pieces that we are adding to the system, as we recognize what was happening.
There.
You got it?
Give me a sec.
Okay, take your time.
Multitasking, share screen, going to the PowerPoint. Okay, so
Okay,
this is what we have right now. When you select a specific group, you go to the next page and it has group information. What we're looking to do is build out a calendar here. So there'll be within the calendar page, there'll be a list of the different dates, the topics, and speakers. So after, let's say 12, we'll look at 12. When you get to the 13th one, that first one's going to roll up. So it'll be just the most recent 12. The groups will fill this out, and based on what they supply, topic and speaker. A good thing about something like this is, let's say a group meets on the first Monday, and the Monday is a holiday. It's going to be on Tuesday. It's a way for them to differentiate that there, and it's another way for them to also get the word out. So if there's a speaker there, the speaker will have a clickable link to go to where the speaker page is, et cetera. So this is in the works now. We want to first, build it out and make sure that we have specific information there. But that's going to be coming very soon. So I think that was what you're alluding to, Marty.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
what would
that's-
happen is that if you would put, and why don't you turn the screen back to me?
Yep.
Let's say over here, let me do a screen share. Okay, where am I here? Okay, and so over here, if you'd be looking here, okay, where you would want to have the topic, and let's say you want to put in LinkedIn over here, okay, this then could show you the groups and the date based upon what we've just shown you. Okay, so right now this is everything. Okay, but we're trying to tie it directly to what the group will tell us. So if you're looking for a special topic, it'll tell you on that group and on this date, they will be speaking on this topic. Okay. If there are groups, let's say a group has certain membership requirements. Okay. And we're going to get rid of this. Let's just say it's a group where there are requirements. And if you do your search, you're going to see this. I run the FENG groups, and on this, the requirement is that the person has to be a financial individual who's a member of the FENG. Okay, so as a result of it, this would tell you that this group has certain requirements, and you want to make sure that you meet those requirements. On Westchester, for instance, to which network course of field of members of practices, experience, etc. So these are some of the things that you'd be looking for in the search. And you could do various searches here on topics, on industry. Okay, let's look at this. And once again, you're going to have all the groups that have finance in it. You could do frequency and say, all right, I want to have a group that meets, it's bi-weekly on the first and third of the month, first and third week of the month. And on doing it, it's going to give you your list over here. Okay, so this could give you certain criteria to do your search. At the same time, as we go through here, okay, basically the searches are on all three screens if you want. Now, if I go here into, let's put this here and say, I want to have a meeting. I know that Gary runs a group. I forget the name of the group, but I know that someone told me to look up Gary, look at his group. So if I do this search here, you're going to see Gary's group is the Hillsdale Career Networking Group. And if you click on that, now you're going to get further information about what the group's all about. They meet virtually, they meet monthly, there's no membership fee, no meeting fee, no requirements. They have various speakers, all different industries, and they are based in New Jersey. Okay. Now you will also see here, you have zip code. And this is another piece that we are working on. It's not implemented as yet, it's still under test, where you could indicate, I'm looking for, I'm in this zip code, I want to go within 20 miles of my house. And that would enable you to see that this is one of the groups. At the same time, I'm going to come into presenters. Let's say you're looking for a meeting where the presenter, let's say, is going to talk about interviewing. Okay. Now, in doing it, I'm going to say which speakers speak about interviewing. Well, here's the different speakers that will speak about interviewing. Actually, Lisa Rangel, she also speaks about LinkedIn profiles. Should be speaking at my fan group on the 2nd of December. But here, this will tell you the individual. Okay, now if you click on the individual, I'll take myself, for instance. What this will do, tell you about what my background is, what I do, what my topics are, what I talk about. Here's my website if you want to look me up. Here's my email to reach, my phone number. I'm based in New Jersey. Here's my zip code, and I'm on LinkedIn. So I'm giving you also information about the speakers. If you want to listen to certain speakers or follow that speaker, or maybe even engage that speaker who could be a coach, you could do it right from here. Okay. So there's different ways to slice it and dice it to find out the information that you're looking for. Now, as I said, we've had already a meeting earlier today with networking groups. We've also had with presenters. And now that the system's up and running, we have found that some of the groups and some of the speakers want to include more information than they did previously when they first submitted the information to us. So they are in the process of adding further information to their area. Okay. Is there any questions anybody has? This is a quiet group.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So this is great. Thank you so much. I just created my account. So easy and user friendly, and this is wonderful. So thank you.
You're
My
welcome.
question is, and I've asked this many times before, are there any resources that we can tap into and utilize or try to utilize partnering with people like in companies or our government, our local legislators to help us find jobs? Because, you know, while it's wonderful to network and support each other, that's not getting us jobs. So can we get some buy-in from companies who are actually hiring?
Ken, you want to handle that at the second? What are you talking about? Go ahead. No, we have a good answer for it.
No, I mean, I think one of the challenges that we have, I mean, we're going to eventually be rolling this platform out to recruiters and other places. I think
Mhm.
that's, you know, again, I seem to, I mean, ideally, in an ideal situation, we would be able to reach out to the different states, to the departments of labor, and we'd be able to reach out to all those places to make it easier. But there's just so many different platforms already as it is, and it just gets. I mean, I know, Karen, the challenges that we have in the news story. I think networking is just the main way to do it. And if you find someone here and connect with them, you may not know who the speakers know or who the people know in the groups. I mean, I wish we could do more than this, I guess is what I'm really saying.
Well, the situation is, Karen, as we're looking, you know, the answer to your question, yes. Right now, we are working on that. It is not implemented as yet. Okay. And just to explain it as we've gone through is that when this concept was basically discussed, Ken and I had this discussion on what we were going to include. Okay. And we took it initially from the job seeker's point of view.
Mhm.
Because, you know, we've always been, you know, engaging with job seekers, and both of us even were job seekers at one time. And we say, okay, what's lacking? First of all, there's not one place you could go to. This solves that problem, okay? Because when it comes to networking groups, okay, how do you find your networking groups today? Generally word of mouth. Okay, maybe somebody will suggest this. Well, another person will tell you, go over here, or I know somebody.
Mhm.
This is the central place where you go and you can find a whole bunch of networking groups. Well, I want to know about different topics. Well, once again, this is where we stand on topics and the presenters and the speakers, okay? The other point, which is a big point, which you bring forth is, where's the jobs? Okay. And what we wanted to do was first get this going so that there's at least a central point for people to go for certain information. And the idea is that from this point, we will then add on further pieces, and that's one of them, okay? But to do that, to get the buy-in from these different individuals, mainly I'll call it the recruiters, so to speak.
Right.
Okay, we need a certain amount of volume. Right now, this was rolled out in the New York metro area, okay? And if you know of people who are in job search or networking groups or presenters, tell them about us so we could get more people here.
Yeah.
We also have had groups across the nation who want to join, and we're looking at that, but we first wanted to get this up and running
So,
pretty complete.
so Marty,
so
the
that-
elephant in the room, which Sam brought up, is how does this affect Alex's list of groups or Adrian's list? And
Say that
Adrian
again?
Roman. The question about how
Oh,
does this
Adrian's?
Adrian's
Okay.
list and Alex's list on the landing page, and it's kind of I'll let you tackle that.
Thanks a lot.
You tackle
Okay.
that? Can I
I'll
just,
tackle it.
Ag, you're it.
Marty,
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
want to say one thing before you move on, is
Yeah.
if there's anything I can do as you develop this, and I'd love to get involved in like outreach, or if there's anything I can do, I'd love to hop on a call with you guys and explore that. So,
Well, thank you very much.
Very
We
much.
appreciate that.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Maria, I'll get to you in a second, okay? To answer what Ken just lobbed into me, which is one of the things we initially talked about. What we have here is one stop, okay? You don't have to read through the whole list that Adrian has. Adrian has done a real good job in putting together her list, but then, she has to always reach out for these networking groups to give her all the information. This is that the information will come directly from the networking groups. You could do this by doing your own selection. You don't have to go through the whole letter, which may not be as organized as what we have over here. And so as a result of it, you get quick information here rapidly and the way you want it. And that's where we stand with Adrian's letter. With what she does a very good job. But I think personally, where this will go is that, it's going to be a lot easier for you, the job seeker, to find what you're looking for.
This is a lot easier to read, much easier to read, and it's organized by date. So I think this is a win.
Thank you, Lynn. All right, Maria, you have a question.
Yes, I just have a couple of questions, actually. Did you ever think of partnering up with Keith? Because those are all HR people who could post jobs on here.
I'm sorry, partnering up with who?
Keith Bogan.
Oh, Keith? Yeah, I have to talk further with Keith, okay? We're not set right now to bring that in, the positions, but yeah, Ken's, he's aware of this, and yeah, he's a good friend of mine. We have to talk further.
Okay,
Okay,
second thing,
that's number one. Number two.
number two, ever think of connecting with Rutgers Career Center? Because they have a lot of jobs for experienced employees at their career center. So that might be a good partnership.
Well, I appreciate it. But as I said, the initial thrust we had was to put the information that you see here in place and get it up and running before we expanded further.
Okay,
There's
Okay,
nothing
but
to stop.
appreciate the suggestion.
What I was gonna say is we have a groups.io mailing list. And if you have a job or something and you want to share them there or send a link, that would be helpful for now. I think one of the challenges that we have is, and the challenge with putting jobs up is you have to keep on top of a job board, because if the job has been filled and you have it up and it's been a week, then it doesn't do any good. That's one of the challenges that I could see with that, but I appreciate that very much.
If you have position right now, send it to the groups IO that we have, Networking Central. And then we
Okay.
could send that out through there at the moment. But what we want to do is that we want to bring everything into this site, so that the job seeker has a one-stop area to go to get all the information that they want.
and one other thing, Marty, do you know Gina Wurtenberg?
No, I don't.
Okay, she is a professor at Rutgers, but she chairs a future of work. We've been having a series of conferences on that. On that panel, we have Department of Labor. We have a lot of people in the world of work. That might be somebody good for you to connect with. So it's right up in Montville.
Do me a favor, send me, her email, and, maybe you could give me a LinkedIn introduction, okay?
Okay, sounds great. But this is
Appreciate it.
awesome, Marty, really awesome.
Well, thank you. We have had a couple of people really, we put our heads together. Is Cliff on the call?
No, Cliff couldn't take this. No,
No, he didn't. Okay. We've been working, we came out with this. We initially wanted to go live at the end of June and July. But what was happening, we didn't get the information in time to really do what we wanted to do. And then the testing took longer than we anticipated. And then at the same time, we've been refining it. So we are here now, we're up and running. And, this is for you, job seekers. And hopefully, what we have over here will help you in what you seek to find, either networking groups, speakers, and eventually, positions. And that's what we're looking at. Okay. Any other questions?
David has his hand up.
Yeah, Marty.
Good.
Yeah, my question is this just strictly a kind of a database of different networking groups, or is there an opportunity for people to network with other people that choose to sign on?
Well, I was going to say, if you go, there's a presenters and speakers tab. Marty, if you show it, there's a lot of people there that you can be connecting with. You can connect with all the different group facilitators too. But we have an area for presenters and speakers that so far we have 16 of them. And I would recommend reaching out to me, Alex, I'm sure, and some of them. All of these people are on LinkedIn, and you start to connect with them, and we're going to keep adding names to it. And you just don't know who they know. So this is a networking platform. It's not just about finding an event. Maybe if you know the speaker is at the event, you can connect with them from there.
Yeah, no, I guess the question is would there be an opportunity, or you guys thought about, if people chose to input their information, kind of their elevator pitch, me as just an individual job seeker, and that potentially I could review profiles of other people that have done something similar, and then I could set up a separate networking call. It's kind of would be an extension of.
No, it's a
what
good idea.
Hope you
I think
do
it's a great
during
idea. What do you
during the
think?
meetings. And if not, that's, if that's out of the scope of what you guys intended to do, I understand. That was just my question. Is is this more, you know, I can certainly use it to look up events. I just didn't know if I could look up people, other than just presenters.
That was not the initial intent, David.
Okay.
You know, we left that to LinkedIn. They're a
Got it.
little
Okay.
bigger than us at the moment.
Yeah, no, I
And,
understand.
okay, at the moment. Okay,
Sure.
just take it from there. But there are other things that we are looking at right now that will enhance this site for the job seeker that we're working on. But we want to take, you know, one step at a time to make sure it's working to get the people what they want.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
but
and
I appreciate the comment.
I applaud
really
the
do.
work that you've done. This is a great resource, so thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Marty, this is Bob Callison.
Yeah, Bob.
I have a question. First of all, congratulations. This is phenomenal. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I really wish this had been available when I first entered the world of being in transition a couple of years ago. And one of the things I've learned is that a lot of the outplacement places weren't always as well informed as others. And I'm just wondering, has there been any thought or effort made to alert some of the outplacement companies that they can help the people they're helping by letting them know this exists? I know it's embryonic, but that would seem to be a natural feed for getting more users and more awareness.
That's a great suggestion, Bob. We did not cover that when we were putting this together. Okay, but it's a great thought to do that. And you know, maybe we'll circle back and ask you to give us some assistance on that. How's that? Okay.
Good deal.
And just, you know, you made a mention when you were in transition, you know, looking, remember what I always say, you know, ABC.
I mean, I could see there being a whole separate area of the site just for different networking, like for outplacement groups and things, or just other resources, I think, along the line. I mean, we wanted to build this up as a starting point, and then basically the pages, you know, we could take it from there. You know, that's something like that. So I appreciate that a lot, Bob.
Yeah, and you know, I have some other things that I've been discussing with Ken. What I'm going to do, let me stop the screen share over here. Okay. And we have been discussing some other things that will then take this to another level. We're not there yet. We, as I say, we want to make sure that we take the baby steps initially to get this thing off and running. You know, one thing really, location at the moment. Okay, we're doing New York metro area, but we were on the phone earlier with people down in Atlanta. Okay, I've had inquiries from Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Oregon, Los Angeles. So it's going to be expanding once we get everything together. Speakers, I know just myself, I have 60 speakers on different topics. Ken has a bunch. We're going to add to that. And really, one thing that we want is that as you use this system, you know, let us know some other things that you think should be, you know, possibilities to include. At the same time, you know, pass the word out there. Okay, we sent out this to a lot of people. You know, we've gotten a decent response to it. We also have our Groups IO, Networking Central, the Groups IO that we use to communicate. And the more we get, especially now, it's ramping up with based on the statistics that we've shown that we've captured from the system. Probably the last 2 weeks, the numbers as people started talking about that has increased, and we've had more people want to join. Also, groups want to join. This is for you, okay? And so through your help, through you spreading the word, from you suggesting to us other things that you think should be included, we will work to get that done, and therefore make this a really good experience for those who are, want to network and be in, find jobs and to, enhance their skills in networking.
There's so many different applications. You can go to different alumni associations of colleges. You can go to other places to go with this. The possibilities are endless. I think what Marty and I want to do is try to get down what we have as good as possible before we try to expand way too much, because then, you're always constantly, trailing that way.
Okay.
All right.
Any other questions?
Karen, did you have your hand up, or is that from before?
No, I do have my hand up. Just
Okay.
jumping off what everybody else was talking about. What I have found recently, because I'm having trouble with my unemployment, is that each of our legislators have a designated liaison to the Department of Labor that works with the Department of Labor. So just as another, maybe that's something we tap into. I can put a list together of names, maybe we send a letter or an email, but as the site gets developed, just something to think about down the road, calling upon our elected officials to help its constituents.
Sounds good. Send us notes on these and we'll deal with it accordingly.
I think
We
what I'm
have to
going to do is
prioritize how we go through.
after this call with all the people attending, I'm going to send everyone a link to a Google document, which we can all just add to instead of just trading emails back and forth. I think that might be best. But send us any thoughts in the meantime, for sure. I mean, especially while it's fresh and you've seen it right now, because this is what we're looking for. Feedback.
Okay. Any
right.
other questions?
All right.
Going once,
But going twice.
going twice. Anybody else? Last shot. Well, look,
Actually,
thank you
I do
very
have a
much.
question. I do
Go
have a
ahead.
question.
Whoa.
Um, 2 meetings ago, you brought up another group's information, and they checked that it did not have a membership, but there was a meeting fee.
Right.
What if we disagree with that? Because I'm actually a member of that group, and there is a membership fee.
What do you
So,
mean by disagree? You mean disagree
Huh?
with disagree with the category, disagree with
what they checked.
Well, send us a note, Lynn. We'll check
All right.
into it. But
yeah,
as
because
we
this
said
is based on the
earlier,
information we were given,
Yeah.
and that's why the
Yeah.
first step is we have to go back to all the groups and confirm with them that the information we have is relevant and correct, because we have to make sure, because we only know what we know. So definitely I agree with you.
Yeah,
it's
well, like
the old thing.
we're a mixed bag. We have membership fees, but some membership's not required for some things. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah,
a mixed bag,
but-
but that one in
yeah.
particular, I'm a member.
Yeah.
So
We only are able to work with the information that's been given to us. And
gotcha.
that's why we have these meetings to try to show people what the impact will be with the information that they give us, or the misinformation they give us, or the lack of information they give us. Okay, what happens? So just let us know. This is a community, and we want to make it as beneficial to everyone as possible. So that's where we are with it. I just want to thank you all for your participation today and for signing up for the group. What I ask is that, please, you see some things that you think we should do, let us know. At the same time, spread the word. Let people know about this.
And the most helpful thing is, the most helpful thing is as you try things out, if it's something that's maybe a user issue or maybe a technical issue, but we're not going to know unless people try to do things. So part of that might be just the way that we're assuming certain things are. Maybe it's like we need to say you need to do this, this, and this to get to point B. The more we know, the better.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, everybody, be well.
Thank
Take it
you so
easy.
much. This was awesome. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Marty.
Thank you.
you're welcome, everybody.
And thanks, Marty. See you next time.
Okay.
Very good.
Take care.
Thank you.